they're so powerful. But the one thing I think that's withstood the test of time is their ability to piss off their opponents. People just get mad. They just get fucking mad when they play. When they lose to Protoss. People just don't like losing to Protoss. They often don't understand how Protoss operates and where the strengths and weaknesses lie. Protoss versus Terran players have often historically felt like they're at a disadvantage during many metas. Sometimes it's been true, sometimes statistically it hasn't been true, but they've still often felt that way. I think honestly, at this point it's a meme where people complaining about Protoss outside of the top level, I kind of get it when they're better getting cannon rushed, like 3 out of 4 Protoss versus Zerg games, but I think most of the time it's people just kind of have this like, it's like almost a cultural thing where it's accepted to just blame Protoss for your loss and dismiss responsibility. It's kind of silly. Special definitely is obviously a Terran player who's kind of campaigning for Protoss to be nerfed a little bit. He feels there's issues in Protoss vs Terran specifically. He doesn't give a shit about Protoss vs Zerg because he's a Terran pro gamer. But he's going to play it here because he feels that Protoss is so powerful that it's going to carry him through even though he has no fucking clue what he's doing. So let's introduce this game, guys. Over here on the left-hand side in the red, the Zerg player. A beautiful mid-GM NA Zerg by the name of Caleb. I believe Caleb made it in this Challenger once or twice. I'm not 100% sure. Does anyone know, did Caleb ever? I feel like Caleb made Challenger one time. I remember one time he cheesed him Canning out of the qualifier. Oh, he didn't cheese him out, but he had this crazy, crazy late game against him Canning, which he knocked him out back on Abyssal Reef. Over here on the right-hand side in the blue, it's Special. Playing Protoss. Okay, so he's gone Nexus, Core, Second Gas. Wow, this is actually pretty much a proper Protoss opening, guys. Oh my god, I think Special might actually know how to do a proper open. Oh, and he's going to proxy Stargate. Okay, yeah. I was going to say, where's his second pylon? And then I was like, wait, where's his probe? So he's going to go proxy Stargate, get a very fast Oracle, run in, try to kill a bunch of workers. Now, normally you would do that here, so you can get straight into the main base. Because you come from this angle, you're going to get spotted by the third and the overlords and things that are zoning around there. And you're going to get into a base that has less targets. There won't be as many drones on this base. Whereas this base, it'll be so many drones to pick from. You'll be like, nom, 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 and kill them all. So, yeah, raise those Doritos to help Juanito. He is chrono boosting an Adept. He's going to chrono a second Adept. His Warp Gate is quite late to start there. But you do normally delay that to get that Stargate down, so that's fair enough. So he's going to go double Adept pressure into the Stargate. This is like an early 2016 build, which I love this opening. The thing is, if the Zerg just builds 20 Lings and counterattacks your wall, you often just die. So let's see, if Caleb does that, even if he takes some damage, like Special will need to keep building Adepts here and get his wall off up. If he doesn't do that, he could lose this game. Is he going to commit? He should not. But Caleb, as I said earlier, is quite greedy. He starts off with only 2 Zerglings usually, only adds the other Zerglings in quite late. So I feel like a really high-level Adept player with their good micro could probably almost always do some nice damage and get the Adept out of here. For now, though, Special's got the 2 Adepts. He's chrono boosting the Oracle. I don't think Caleb has any idea what the fuck is going on in this game. Uh-oh, he's got no Spore Crawler started. He's so focused on the Adepts. The Adepts are just threatening. They're not sacrificing themselves. They're going to wait. If they dive at the same time the Oracle goes in, that'll be massive. For now, notice they're staying out of combat. Their shields are starting to regenerate very rapidly, and that first Oracle's coming in. The distraction of the Adepts going into the main, they get cancelled at the last second. The Oracle turns on its laser beam, and Special here with some pretty average Oracle micro at the start of that. Oh, very terrible Oracle micro. He tried to do the lazy shift click at the start of that interaction, which is really bad because you lose your acceleration. Oh, almost loses that Oracle down here as well. I think there's enough dead space to hide in the corner out of range, but only 3 kills there. So he was slow to do the shift click. He didn't have the timing quite right, but even with the shift click, that's lazy micro. Oracles lose acceleration whenever they start shooting their laser. Whenever they stop moving, sorry, and they take forever to accelerate. But if you move, shoot, so you keep clicking the moment after they shoot their laser beam, you stop them from ever completely coming to a halt. They can chase down the drones as they run away while almost constantly shooting. But we could see their Special just kind of lazily shift-clicked on the drones, so it stopped, killed one drone, killed a second drone, and then the drones were out of range and had to very slowly speed up to try to get back in there. So not getting the damage he would have liked, but there we go. That's a nice follow-up. 3 more drones, and the thing is, Caleb's drone count kind of sucks balls. There we go. A bunch more drones just came out. He's up to 38 now, but he's got to catch up on that drone count. Special has been looking really good. He still hasn't... Oh, man, even a Phoenix is going to get out. The Zerglings didn't counterattack like I was talking about, which is fine because Special didn't sack the Adepts. If you lose the 2 Adepts, that's where you often die to the counter. But he also hasn't shut down the Stargate, and that's a problem. He should know it's proxy Stargate from how fast that Oracle arrived. For now, though, Caleb not going to get rid of that Stargate and allowed the Phoenix to get out. It's not like the biggest problem by any means, but it's just something where you would love to get that pylon for free, get rid of the Stargate tech, take it off the map. For now, Special's going for a third base, has a few adepts there. We always see this lately, a lot of adepts just sitting out in the open. We've seen stats lose games because his adepts are sitting out in the open, as well as a lot of high-level players. You should always have them wedged in a mineral patch or in between some pylons. Now, I'm just noticing this map doesn't have very good spaces in those mineral lines. You've only got these two pockets. You can't dance behind the mineral line at all because there's terrain right backing up onto the mineral line. That's a unique sort of mechanic. We don't see that on a lot of maps. Usually you've got space behind there, so there's like many pockets you can kind of hide your adepts in, as well as between the gases. But this is a wide gap between the gases and the minerals here, as opposed to this base where it's a little bit tighter there and there to hold position adepts in. So Ling Floods and Lings coming in to cancel the thirds could be way more powerful there. We've got Oracles rotating on the back. We've got a Warp Prism coming in with 2 sentries. Special has a ton of gateways? No, only a few gateways. So a sentry drop. Nah, this is dumb, man. There's no fucking way. Oh my god. Special. Getting ahead of himself there. That's a dead sentry drop. That was way too ambitious. Not only does Caleb already have Hydras out, but that was like a sentry drop with how many gateways? He had 4 warp gates up behind. Even if he lands the force field, he's going to warp in like a couple zealots and kill a few drones. Like, Special, no doubt, thinking of 2010 Wings of Liberty, where that was like one of the biggest all-ins that was really common, is you'd like attack the front with a bunch of units and then you'd quickly like send 4 sentries in the main, force field their ramp, and you'd ferry your units into their main base. And you'd just keep warping in sentries and you'd permanently force field them out of the main while you killed all their tech and drones. Yeah, there were like really shit tier pro gamers who would just do that like 80% of their games. Shout out to Arthur. I mean, I know he's a nice guy, friendly streamer and stuff, but I don't know. It was very easy to have a lot of hatred and very little respect for a lot of Protoss players who played just those strategies like almost every game back in Wings and Heart of the Swarm. And it was even easier to hate yourself as a Zerg player who would then lose to that sort of strategy on the regular and be like, is my brain broken? Like, am I really stupid? I think I'm really stupid. Different times. So I think he killed a pylon in order to get a unit out because the model was trapped, but then he depowered his gateway and his charge because of it. Sick plays here, of course, by Special. He's massing zealots against Zerg. Now this is really good if you engage these Hydras on their own. Caleb is going Hydras into Swarm hosts. What the fuck? With no Baneling Nest. Oh, that's dangerous, man. Caleb's a dangerous boy. He's corner cutting like a motherfucker. Yeah, Zealots are great against this sort of army because the Zealots will wreck the Hydras 1-to-1, and this is like 2-to-1 Zealots and Archons to each Hydra. The Swarm hosts aren't going to do that much against Zealots because they're so high damage. They're also cheap, expendable units. It's not like you lose a High Templar and you go, fuck, I lost a High Templar to a Locust. You lose a few Zealots, you don't care. Most importantly, it's a big, scary army, and what can you do? Build more Hydras. An incredibly valuable unit. Yes, they're high damage, but they're just not going to have the area effect that's needed to clear this many Zealots. You need a ball of Banelings. So Caleb's got to pull back behind his hatchery. If he wants to have any chance of defending this, I mean, oh man, he's got to get... No, you can't engage in the open like this. I mean, oh, Special's pulling back. He doesn't realize how small this army is of Caleb. Trying to just wait for the Locust. Oh, okay, it's good micro. He did manage to evade the entire Locust wave. The Hydras need to get out of there. The Hydras need to get out of there. The Hydras need to get out of there. The Locusts are gone, and there is a long time before more Locusts, before a full Locust wave is ready. Caleb here is almost posturing as if he can win the fight, even though there's like no way he can right now. And he gets punished for it. Good. I was going to say, if Special just assumes because he's standing there he can win the fight, that's going to be a big mistake. But Special jumps. And, I mean, Caleb can give up a base and still win because he's got a ton of Swarm hosts. Oh my god, he's got 4 Spine Crawlers to fall back on. Oh my god, he's actually going to hold. I think Caleb wins now. Let me see. Is there a Warp Prism? There is. How many gateways have we got? We've got 10 gateways. There is a 4th base on the way, so it's not necessarily over. But, yeah, I mean, if Caleb can hold this base, he's in an incredible position. I think Special needs to multi-prong. Like, if he can warp in some Zealots onto another base, get into the main, the natural, he'll overwhelm for sure. But right now, these are the windows where he needs to overwhelm. The moment there's more Locusts, he's going to get dicked. Comes in again, gets a few Hydras, gets a Spine, gets a few more Hydras, but the Locusts come in, he's got to pull back. The Hydras, of course, trying to punish him each time he retreats from the Locusts. They're trying to take them down. A few of those Archons, oh my god, 2 Archons just went down. The Hydras got a little bit greedy there with how far they chased, but he holds the ramp, and that's nice. That Observer does give high ground vision, though. Caleb's still being a little bit greedy with this chase. He's still got 11 Swarm hosts behind this, though. So those 11 Swarm hosts are refilling. Special's army is gone. He's going to have to go dropping stuff like that. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The War Prism. The War Prism. Oh. Wow, 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 wow. Special here. Getting a little bit carried away. Oh, my God. Bad miss micro. And those Hydras, they're a bit far out in the open. Where are those Swarmos? The Swarmos now coming across the map. Special really needs to be multi-progging. You know, Caleb could only barely defend this because he could keep everything together. But this 4th base being allowed to stand during that, big misstep from Special to not be multi-progging. Has he got Storm? Has he got anything else? No, he's just making Zealots and Archons. He really should have a 2nd Prism on the map. If he's going to play this sort of just meaty army style, he's got to do that. He can't fight this front on. The Locusts being launched from a little bit further back than I would have liked. You can see they've only got about 13 seconds left on them. They will, of course, allow the Hydras to move in. They will do some damage to these units. He's going to try to just land on the Nexus. He's going to click on the Nexus. No! Locusts are so bullshit. Look at that damage. Oh my god. Timed it out perfectly. Just barely got the Nexus from the maximum range. Hydras and Swarmos do need to get the fuck out of Dodge now. +2's on the way. 5 more Swarmos to go up to a total of 16. Mass Hydra Swarmos, not a composition you would usually see winning. Even going Hydra Bane Swarmos is dangerous because it's kind of so late before you start hitting your opponent. But it seems like Special here, unable to use the power of Protoss to beat Caleb, who is, of course, the more experienced player in the matchup. Special's an incredible player, great mechanics, you know, awesome play, but he's not using the multi-prong. Finally using this pylon in the bottom that I've been talking about for a long time, but he's got to wait until his army is distracting before he sends that in. Right now, Caleb just YOLOing these Swarmos off creep. Super dangerous move, but if he gets it on the Nexus, he wins the game. Like, right now, Special's almost maxed, but his upgrades are non-existent. Oh, we didn't micro the Locusts. Oh, wasted. Wasted wave, does next to nothing. 1 Locust gets up there and starts killing a few probes. At the same time, Zealots counterattacking there, don't do too much. These Zealots looking for the cancel, but the Hydra's going to come in and defend that. What have we got here? Hydras come forward, they snipe an Archon. There's still a ton of Zealots. You've got to get out of there. Those Hydras are going to lose a bunch of units on the retreat, but the Swarmos staying in an aggressive position. They're looking to slide into that 4th base. He knows if he gets that, that's huge. Still no Baneling Nest or Lurker down here from Caleb, and that's dangerous because, I mean, you need some really strong defensive stuff, right? Right now, this push is coming. There's Storm on the way. He's realizing how dangerous this position is. Caleb, you got to get the hell out of there. Stop running into the Zealots. You're losing way more Hydras. I guess he's got to engage further away from his base, though, because there's Force Fields and Storms, and if he just lets himself get wedged against a wall, the mixture of those 2 spells could finish him. So yeah, I guess he's got to engage here and kind of start trading out units so he can use that bank to refill. Zealots in the main do get cleaned up. Looks like this 5th base is going to go down, but he's sandwiched now. That's a Protoss bit of filling there in the middle. Locusts on the right, Hydras on the left. All the High Templar Storms are gone at this point. A lot of those Locusts are not really coming into the right angle of the engage. The Hydras from the main are finally coming back down to rotate. You can see those on the left-hand side, but he needs time, and he's going to fall back to these Spine Crawlers, which have really been his saving grace throughout this map. Caleb goes for the Prism, doesn't get it, but I think he's just got better numbers. Special's got a big bank up behind this, but he's lost his entire army. He's building Immortals 2 at a time. Still no upgrades against +2 range Hydras. The 4th base is healthy, but he's just put on gas now. Has he got any High Templar? Yes, he's got a lot of Storms ready, 6 to be exact, 2 Immortals, 12 Zealots, soon to be 4 Immortals. It's still a decent little army. The scary part is, of course, the Passion Hosts. Big, beautiful Hell Muffins, ready to toss their unfertilized eggs out into the world. Upon contact with oxygen, they immediately fertilize and develop into fully grown Locusts. The Hydras come in, the Locusts come in. They're just going to try and roll over. There's some good Storms here from Special, but it doesn't matter how special you are, you ain't going to be able to take on that many Hydras in the next wave of Locusts. So the Hydra's happy to trade out here. Caleb here, confidently taking, once again, a pure Hydra engage. No Banelings, no Lurkers, just fucking mass Hydra Swarmos like a boss. It's not a bad composition, even though it's like I said, it's got some fragility and some weakness. If you really take care of it and you use your Locust correctly, you avoid your Hydras getting like surrounded or clumped up in Storm, it's like a very simple composition where you just need to use the units very well. So as much as I was critical of it earlier, I'm like, I get it. I still think it's like, it's dangerous. It's not as solid as having a Baneling nest, even just for slow Banelings, right? Just 10 slow Banelings I think would have changed the early mid game. But yeah, these are nerfed Hydras as well. Shoshardy's reminding me, he's like, don't forget to call that one out. These are slightly lower damage Hydras. So remember guys, it's about 5% slower attack speed, I believe it is. I think it's attack speed. Yeah, it's attack speed. 5% slower attack speed for the Hydras, guys. As I've been mentioning, it's not the craziest change. Like, it's a small little thing. It does make a difference. Those Locusts did fuck all. Not quite syncing up the sandwich there. If there was a few storms here, these Hydras would be getting punished. This is such a crazy engagement. I would just never push up there with pure Hydra. It just seems like such a bad idea, but I think at this point, any trade is a good trade for Caleb, just because he's got so much more money, and you can kind of see it reflected in the supply. Like, I'm like pushing up a ramp with Hydras when the Locust Wave's already gone. I'm like, this is crazy. But yeah, did he force Archon Morphs with the Locust? I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't paying attention, because if he forced that, he knew there was no storm. I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. It's just a lot braver than I ever would have done. I would have pussied out of that hard. I would have been just counter-attacking up here with my Hydras. And finally, Great Aspire should be able to finish the game. Special is going to try and counterattack. Caleb says, you know what? Okay, I thought he was just going to walk past, but realizes it's there. Gives the A move, takes it to Dicktown. Probes arrive on the left-hand side. Special's up at 87 workers. It's a few too many, buddy. Zealots and Archons come in. Oh man, Hydra's actually were clicking on the Nexus, and whilst that means they get it, they do take a lot of damage before the fight begins. Down here, Locusts do take down some Zealots. Left-hand side, Storms coming in. Juicy Storms. The High Templar are exposed, and they don't quite have energy for more Storms. Special's like, fuck this shit. Protoss not as Imber as I thought. Maybe I need to actually know a build. Probe with a massive 14-month resub. Much love, my man. How you doing? Echo Reinhardt. Probius, Mr. fucking Kempen. Why I can't make unit and A move versus Zerg like versus Terran, says Special. Do you want a rematch, Special? Best of 3? Do you guys want to play a best of 3? Let's see. Do you want to? I think if you counterattacked a bit more, you could have abused him. He was playing a bit abusive with pure Hydra Swarm Host. I think it was, yeah. He says, play Terran. I want to play versus Terran. No, you got to prove Protoss is Imber. You think Protoss is Imber versus all races. You know, you think they're just broken. You got it. You got your chance to get revenge on this upstart NA fucking Zerg off the shitty GMNA ladder where all the plebs play. You can smack him, Special. Don't let this kid usurp your fucking greatness. Ooh, I just tried to invite Special to my clan. Oops. I hope Caleb's listening, by the way. If he's not, I just feel mean. New big patch in 1 week, Albert. 1 week. We're playing the test map. If you guys want to play it, you can actually go into Versus and there's a matchmaker for it, but there's not that many people playing it usually because a lot of people still just play ladder. Or you can create a custom game and you can create it with the balance test mod. So rather than going create game, when you go custom game, you go create with mod and it'll be there under the Blizzard mods. So it's good shit. All right, guys, best of 3 now. Puppy's going to try and bring it back. Throw out your Doritos to help Juanito. Let's go. Hey. Alright. It's game 2 here on the test map. It's a Zerg versus Protoss. Showing some weird but effective mass Hydra Swarm Host in that last game. Up here in the top left, his name is Caleb. And down here in the bottom right in the blue, the Protoss player, his name is Special. Especial. So Special is down a game. Wow. Caleb's like, I totally speak good Spanish. Why is he calling him Major? His name's Special. He changed his name. Oh! Blocked. That probe went right across this map. This is a smaller map. Caleb does go gas pool to respond. Is Special going to commit to the pylon? Yeah, at this point, I don't think it's actually ever worth going for that pylon. I mean, it's not like it's the worst thing in the world. It's okay. It's not that bad. I prefer at that point, you've delayed the hatch so long to just run away, and if they put the hatch down, you're like, well, your hatch is like 10 seconds late. Your build sucks balls. Get wrecked. But hey, pushed him into taking the third base. I like it. I like it. Could have come back with the probe in time to block this hatch on the natural anyway without using the pylon. So if you understand that hatch first goes down at 50 seconds, but then gas pool into hatch doesn't go down until a minute 20, you realize you've got time between blocking the initial hatch timing, regen shields, come back, and you can block the secondary hatch timing with the probe without putting a pylon down. Really cool detail. Is that Special playing Protoss? Yeah, Special's playing Protoss, and the reason is he thinks Protoss is broken and needs to be nerfed. Now, after that last game, he had a bit of a rude awakening. Is this pylon on the outside of his wall? The fuck am I looking at? Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's Special's wall, guys. Holy fuck, you'd think... Yeah, I'm allergic to bad walls, apparently. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. So after that last game, Special said, how come I can't just make units an A move versus Zerg like I can versus Terran? So he's realizing PvZ needs a little bit more of a deft touch than Protoss versus Terran, where he just makes charge lots and A moves. So it's good to see this kind of rude awakening that Special's having here on this map. Now, there's 4 Lings here, and that's on the outside. Oh, that's so funny. That Adept's got to fight. She got to protect that pylon. This is like something I feel like Roddy would do. I feel like Roddy would do this just to try to bait an all-in. He'd be like, my pylon's on the outside, come at me. And he'd have this like whole game plan that's like meant to take advantage of them committing to an all-in. You see that as a Zerg and your brain just breaks. You're like, what even is that? I don't understand. Does he want me to try and kill it? So confused. Ling's over here, hatchery there. Ling speed's about to be done. We got 3 queens, 3 hatches up. Super standard opening here from Caleb. 2 adepts are going to shade out onto the map. So even though it's gas pool, says, you know what, I'm going to force you to build a lot of Zerglings if you want to kill these, but that's a good angle for Caleb. Good micro as well. Oh, not the best, but that shade is terrible. Rookie shade. Actually, oh, I would have kept chasing. I mean, I'm an idiot, so I like throwing units away, but I would have just at least killed the orange hit point adept and then got out of there. That was a bad trade for Caleb. Already went for a less efficient opening by going gas pool, having the hatchery blocked, and now losing some Lings and being forced to build more Lings. The adepts just withdraw. He even fully walls. He's like, you know what? You might just mass Lings and try to kill me. Let's just fully wall to be 100% safe. Good read there by Especial. Guys, don't forget, we should all be tweeting at Doritos pretty much every day to try and get Specialist sponsorship. Because I think it's a fucking travesty that he doesn't have one. I mean, we're all in Twitch chat, we're spamming Doritos, we want to help Juanito, and they're not even fucking paying him for this free advertising. Like, as if Nesty not being sponsored by Nesty was bad enough. I mean, it's just sad. It's just sad. I feel like we need to be tweeting at him, posting on their Instagram, being like, why the fuck don't you support Major? Special. Whoa! Oh, man. And I guess he was so unprepared, he forced a lot of tricks, so that's not bad damage, and he keeps the Oracle alive, which is good. But this is the most awkward thing I've ever seen. He's now going double robo on 2 base while trying to break out of the wall. Yeah. I liked it before, but you could tell he didn't really know how to transition off-walling himself in. He's only now adding his 2nd and 3rd gate at 5 minutes. Caleb's drone count sucks balls, so that's kind of nice. The redeeming, situation here for Special is that Caleb's economy is pretty damn bad. So he's got time to try and get back into a good spot in this game. I just feel like, yeah, with this run by gets... Oh, actually, that last probe survives. There's only like 2 probes, I think. You know what? If he can just get a 3rd down secured, I think he's still in an okay spot. This is like a map where it feels like the creep isn't too far out. I really feel like we're going to just see Queen, Roach, Swarm Host, what Caleb was trying against me before. That's a hard style to play against, but if Special can just get up to 3rd, get the mineral saturation, get a bunch of charge lots, a few Archons with his Immortals, and just control the center of the map, keep the Locusts at bay, that'll be big. Phoenix is going to come in, sees just an Evo, sees the drones are only now really getting saturated. That's going to make Special feel good, because you're kind of like, oh, your work account really is not that big just yet. And I would feel bad about the late third, but it's okay in this scenario. We've both been slowed down. Things are okay. The Twilight Forge is eventually going to kick in. Probing is going on. What's he chrono boosting? He's chrono boosting Immortals 2 at a time. I feel like he should be chronoing his probes right now, so that third gets saturated faster. But getting a nice Immortal count out can be good. Random stasis trap in the middle of the map, and it's going to catch him. That's cute. Phoenix on the other side, still scouting. It's looking for info. It's actually a Hydra Den. Are we just going to see Roach Hydra Lurker from Caleb? Ooh. Warp Prism's out. More gateways are on the way. Excuse me, just burping into my mic casually. Just the way I do. Let's see what upgrades. I think it's just going to be charge and +1 attack. But specials builds aren't exactly well refined. So he kind of seems to just randomly queue things up when he remembers. He's like, I know Immortals and Archons are good units. I know Storm's a good unit. He's got 3 Adepts and a Prism that want to go pressure. But he's going to bring that home here. He's got to keep these Probes and Immortals alive. He's thinking about what he's doing. He's got so many units up here. Are they just not control groups? I really want to see how special control groups. Okay, so he's got a Forge on 0. He's got his 3 bases on different control groups. Yeah, special's really weird. Quite a few pro gamers do this thing where they sometimes build out of their different control groups or like zoom to them by double tapping a key rather than using their camera locations. I don't really know if he uses those or not, and that's just a weird habit from the early game. I'll have to ask him about it. He's got double robos on a hotkey, gateways on a hotkey. Adepts going the main. I love this noob shade. This is he doesn't know how. You've got to cancel before you can pick up. We just witnessed the quarterfinalist from BlizzCon learn that you need to cancel Adepts before you can pick them up into a Warp Prism. For those of you who don't know, Special doesn't exactly play a lot of off-race. We found that out in the Who is the True StarCraft Master Tournament when Raynor just rolled over the top of him. Like, Raynor's off-race is so good. Holy shit. He was playing so well. Like, I think Raynor vs. Scarlet was probably the best series of the tournament, even better than Showtime Scarlet. But it was just so funny. Special was just trying to do like the shittiest all-ins, and like Raynor was just scouting it and just blocking it with his Protoss and Terran so easily. He was just slapping Special down. So Special definitely not the best off-racer, but he knows how to build Immortals, Archons, and Charge Lots. If he can just start getting some multi-pronged pressure going here, rather than keeping his army just in one angle, I think it'll go well for him. When you're not going Storm, you don't want to just fight in one area. You don't have the splash damage. You really need to spread your opponent's Roach Hydra out and hit from multiple angles. Now, this is a scary Immortal count, and it's not the greatest Roach Hydra counts. 9 Swarm hosts are on the way, but they're not ready yet. And I really feel like against this army, this sort of push off just 60 probes, you just want more Hydras, more Roaches. Ravagers are even good. Those Sentries actually could be dangerous with their force fields. We've got Swarm hosts there. Yeah, Roach Hydra is there. He's gonna have to throw the Locusts, but look at that. Special already sees it. He should pull back. Special, you gotta get out of there. You can't commit to that, surely. Oh my god, he's just gonna man mode it. Special just flexes his big old Immortal muscle and says, nah, I can take this fight. Oh, force fields. Watch out for the force fields. Caleb, he goes for the Prism. He gets it. A dangerous move, but it pays off. He manages to get it. He's gonna withdraw. He's got another 20 seconds until the Swarm hosts are cooled down. He's trying to build more Hydras, more Lings. He's going to have to pull drones. He's got to flank in from multiple sides. If he can just buy time until those Locusts are ready, that'll be huge. Great force fields by Special. Just blocks that ramp. He says, get wrecked, son. The Immortals are coming in. That hatchery's going to fall almost for sure, but the Locusts are cooled down. They're ready. The Hydra's coming in from the north. The force fields ran out. If that hatchery dies, it's going to add Broodlings as well. Where are the Locusts? The Locusts are coming in way too late. They're coming in too late. The hatchery falls, though. The Broodlings come in, and the Locusts and Hydras together are going to clean up this army. There's a 4th base up and running. Caleb holds. Caleb's in a good position, and only now the Zealots come in with a counterattack. That's what I was talking about. He needed to do that earlier. If he gets this hatch, it's all worth it. It's all okay. He can bounce back from this. If he doesn't get that hatch snipe, he's screwed. He's going to get the hatch snipe. Good on ya. Special still in the game. Knocks Caleb down to 2 bases. Now, he's already got the 3rd rebuilt. He's got his 4th, not quite fully mining. He should put a few more drones on that. There's Zealots starting to branch out across the map. Warp Prism branching out, using that multitasking. This is what I told Special after that last game. He wanted to swap to his opponent playing Terran. He wanted to play against my Terran with Protoss to prove how broken Protoss is. I was like, dude, you got to beat Caleb first. You got to make it past a mid-GM Zerg player, someone who's been in Challenger once or twice, versus a semi-finalist from like 2017 BlizzCon, made it to the quarters this year. Come on. So he's going to try and fight. He's using some multitasking. Oh, the Cuckinator. He warps in the Cuckinator. That force field gets blocked. These units unable to get up that ramp. The Zealots are doing okay, but a lot of roaches just popped out and there's no more sentries. So the Cuckinator not actually going to block things as well as he would have liked. Locusts launch, and the third goes down. And not just that, but the probes. The probes. Oh, Special thought the Locusts had already run out. And he still doesn't have a fourth up as well. That's a big problem. Where's the fourth base? Special. Oh, that was Locust going across. So even though he's taken some damage, has young Caleb over here. Young Caleb is throbbing right now. He's full strength. Roach Hydra Swarm Host. The Swarm Hosts are going to be off cooldown soon. Uh-oh, they might run into the army. Roach Hydra in multiple angles. Yeah, Caleb's kind of split up to defend drops right now. He's got to reconsolidate his army. Now, these High Templar are looking for some storms, but Caleb sees everything. There's no observer with the army. These little details are costing Special so much. No observer with the army. About 400 Zealots with +1. He's got some nice storms. Those, yeah, good dodges though. Caleb being really patient, and those Swarm Hosts just ready. There we go. Wave of babies from the backside. Gonna throw their shit in. Another wasted storm here. The storms will run out eventually. He has to use one to help clear these Locusts. The Locusts go for the High Templar, and they damage 2 of them. They don't kill any. Good hot pickup on a few of them as well there from Special. He's got a 4th on the way, as well as rebuilding that 3rd. His army maintaining position on the left-hand side. The Roach Hydra really needs to flank from 2 sides if he wants to engage this army. But you know what? Special, he's going to go for it. He sees the spines aren't burrowed. He does get a nice storm. Where is that army? They're counterattacking. Caleb says, fuck this. If you're not going to push in, I'm not going to force my way up a choke point. I'm not an idiot, dude. The Swarmers are going to get caught in the open. Their Locusts are cooled down, but they got to get the fuck out of there. They're going to run. The Locusts will easily get dealt with there. But at the same time, Roach Hydra coming in. He's going to go for some snipes on the High Templar. Good hot pickup to save those. The Roach Hydra on the right is not attacking. Caleb is multitasking, failing him a little. Finally, he goes in, and that's where Special suddenly knows he's in trubs. Recalls half the army. It's strategic recall. It's not mass recall anymore. Oh my god, he lands some good storms, but he loses so many valuable units. He's chasing down the Roach Hydra on the right-hand side. He's going to try and flank and potentially split off some counterattacks, but that Roach Hydra from Caleb doing so well to get back here. He's continuing to split his units to respond. He's still got those 7 Swarm Hosts up, running around the map. And Special here, bleeding out in this game, unable to push back the map control. Caleb just gets the benefit of having map hacks in this game. That Nexus did survive on the right. This Nexus will go down though. Roach Hydra cleans up the Zealots on the left. And Special here coming through the middle. Immortals and Zealots coming forward. +2 is done. Storm, of course, has been ready for a long time. 10 Zealots, 4 Immortals, 2 Archons against 37 Hydras, 7 Roaches, and 7 Swarmers. Caleb just needs to avoid the storms, and he will win this game. It's +2 versus +2. Equal upgrades on both sides. The Roach Hydra once again going into the counterattack. And this time the Locusts, there's no Prism to save them. 1 High Templar falls. The other High Templar are trying to get the hell out of there. Special realizing he was dead. The Roach Hydra on the right-hand side. And that's it. That's a 2-0. Special may need to redefine his argument from Protoss is Imba to Protoss versus Terran is Imba.